Hey guys, welcome to Funky's World. Okay, I just signed into my brand new Netflix. And I have filled my personal list, and I will have a couple of videos coming on the wrestling channel. There are a couple of wrestling documentaries on there. There's the Mr. McMahon one, but there's also one called Wrestlers. So now, what I'm going to do is talk to you about what a one-name study actually is. A one-name study is literally that. You take one name, one surname, and you follow out all the lines of that surname. How can that help you in genealogy? Well, it might help you narrow down which of those lines is yours. Let me pull out my one-name study paperwork. Ow. Here it is. Let me show you what I'm working with. Okay. Because I don't honestly know whether my grandmother was actually a Burgess, my great-grandmother, or whether she was, in fact, a Dalzell, which is what I have it narrowed down to. Now, a one-name study, this is busting genealogy brick walls, which is also important, but I have paperwork on doing a one-name study here. Let's fold this over. Okay. Okay. And I will try to find links for you. They also have the Guild of One-Name Studies. Now you can be doing this for several reasons. You want to find the origin of the name. I'm going to skip this set of paperwork because it's too small. There we go. Okay. According to the Guild of One-Name Studies, the definition of a one-name study is a project researching all occurrences of a surname or last name as opposed to a particular pedigree or descendancy. Most one-name studies are of less common names, although there is a Miller one-name study. Spelling variants need be determined as research progresses. You want to collect data, acquire entries from indexes to civil registration in England, Ireland, North and Air. North and, in other words, the Republic of Ireland. Scotland and Wales. All entries from indexed wills, vital records indices, again, a lot of okay. Now, data sources are going to be similar to data sources in any genealogy that you do, such as vital records, BMDs, birth, death, marriages, but also baptisms, burials, adoptions, divorces, post-mortem inquests, monumental inscriptions, in other words, grave marker inscriptions, bastardy examinations, wills, and administrations. What that is the crime of having a child outside of marriage, which was bastardy. It's not a crime anymore, thankfully, but it was. And you were called a bastard if you were born out of wedlock. Even in the 1950s, when my mother was born, she was legally a bastard. Also, place data. In other words, census records, street directories, telephone directories, voter rolls, or electoral rolls as they call them, property deeds, militia lists. Those are old military lists, by the way. Tithe records from churches. I have no idea what a glebetary is. Glebe, and then it's Terriers. Terriers. It looks like it's an Irish word. Manorial records, don't know what that means. School records, occupational data. Basically all the data you would look at in doing genealogy. You know, maps, all the things that you would, the usual suspects in genealogy. The difference being these people aren't necessarily related to you. Now, if you go through the Guild of One-Name Studies, you might find someone doing a one-name study, and you'll end up with a lot of, you could end up with a lot of information if you get in contact with that person who's registered it with the Guild. Now, you have to pay to do that, and that's not cheap. But, now, mine, I have, all of the people of that name. I started in Connecticut. And then of course I'm also doing Ireland. I've also found the name in Australia, and interestingly I have found both names in Australia. One thing that I learned was that if you have a potential link to your family, like I am not sure if this Burgess family is actually her family, so it's what's called a ghost tree or a ghost line. What it is it's in there, but they're not connected to anyone, so they're floating around in the tree, not connected to anyone. Now, I am doing mine for a brick wall. And that's what this folder is. This folder is the brick wall. This folder is the one-name study. This folder is the Dalzell one-name study. But really, the Dalzell one-name study, I'm almost not really doing a one-name study on that. I'm studying one line. But what I would like to do is hook it up to another line. But I also would like to fully attach it to me. I know basically what line it's coming from in my family, but I don't know exactly how it's related. So basically, the Dalzell is not a one-name study. Burgess is a one-name study because it's every Burgess I can find in Connecticut, Ireland, England, all over the place, especially related, to that particular family, but not necessarily. There's no way to know. So the Dalzell one, like I said, is not really a one-name study because it's a one-family study. I know that this family's related to me without question. I don't know the exact relationship. I suspect it's my great-grandmother's actual family, but I can't prove it yet. My mother and I had that suspicion before she passed away, and I've just kind of built on it because we were starting to see in the DNA matches over and over again this one particular Dalzell family, which, for full transparency, I do have a Dalzell family. One of my great-grandfather's sisters married a James Dalzell, and when he passed away, she married his brother, the best that I can tell. I've not found a marriage record, but I have found them on the census together, listed as married. And we know it's his brother because he lived in the same darn house. And we have been able to trace that line a little bit. We're comfortable saying that's his brother. So we don't have a problem with saying that. I think that family's got to be linked to my DNA-related Dalzell family. Now you may say, well, they're probably just related through, because you're related to the Dalzells through their kids. Well, yes, I am, but their kids were all female. So they all had different last names. And I have DNA matches to them. So I don't have any Dalzell relatives whose name is Dalzell in that line. Because like I said, they had daughters. So that'd be part of the problem. So what I'm trying to do is twofold. I am trying to link that Dalzell family to my known Dalzell line, but also link that Dalzell family back to me. I have a million DNA matches to that family, all going back to the children of Peninia Dalzell and William McGeary. But, I traced them all back to the same couple. All different children of the same couple, but to the same couple. And yet I can't trace that couple forward to me. I'm gonna freaking do it. And once I do, that may give me the answer to my great-grandmother, or open up a whole other Pandora's box, can of worms. So, who knows? Until I get that worked out. So, that is what I'm doing. Dalzell, I'm doing a one-name study because I want to see if she is a Dalzell, not Dalzell, go back, Burgess one-name study, because I need to see if she is a Burgess. But I know now there was an adoption in the Burgess line. I know that there was a non-paternal event, which means that one of the children, if this is a child of Maria, was not her husband's because he was already dead for a few years, so she must have remarried. She came here after he died, it looks like. This is what I'm finding. Although I find him buried here, which is strange because his death is in Ireland, which makes no sense. But at any rate, yeah, that's what I'm working with. So that's why I'm doing a Burgess full-on study, all Burgess lines that I can find. Connecticut, Ireland, England, to try and even Massachusetts, really. The weird thing is I have had no DNA matches to a Burgess. None. But a million back to this Dalzell couple. Well, McGeary. William McGeary and Peninia Patience Dalzell. I find it interesting that her middle name was Patience, because my great-grandmother's name was Patience. So I will give you links in the description to be able to do this. Like I said, the way that you make a ghost tree, as they call it, is you put the people in, but you don't have them connected. In other words, the first thing I did was put them in as her parents and then removed them as her parents, but left them in the tree. So they're just floating. That's why they're called a ghost, because they're just floating in the tree. Do I think they're her parents? I go back and forth. So that's the Burgess. The Dalzell is its own separate tree, because I'm trying to link them to me so that I can put them in my tree. But I don't know exactly where they fit my tree yet. So, that's where I'm at. I hope that this conversation helped you understand a one-name study, helped you understand a little bit about linking DNA matches, because it's not about, some of them have great trees, but we don't have an obvious common ancestor. So it's like, who is the common ancestor? You know? So you have to figure that out. So that be the issue. And I will keep you updated with, if I find the link, the ancestor link between the two lines, because there is one. I DNA match all these darn people, so there's got to be something. So I will let you know when I find it, and I will find it eventually. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I'm only going to do 2 videos today, because I'm going to do a video for the wrestling channel, just sort of updating what I'm going to be doing upcoming on the channel. So, thank you so much for joining me. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.